Why is this guy, this brilliant, brilliant entrepreneur, smiling? I'm looking. I'm going to pause for a moment as I beard. Can't say that word over there. If you want to do it in Brazil, send an email to smallbizdavid at davidsbarter.com. That's one way to do it. Or better yet, join our community. I'm talking to somebody in Brazil right now. Join our community at davidsbarter.com and develop a community marketing profile for yourself. Then send me a message. Send Small Biz David a message. But I can help you, and there you go. So it was a worthwhile day. Maybe we'll get something going in Brazil. Okay, Brazil and the rest of the world. Why is this guy smiling? The Zuck is smiling because at the tender age of 28, in 8, maybe long years for him, but probably short years, things were happening so fast, has created a community of users that now total close to 1 billion. I shake every time I say that number. Interesting enough, his idea got started on a college campus. Got started at Harvard, and he made it work to the best of his abilities at Harvard, and then other colleges were lining up left and right. And in the first days of Facebook, you had to have a college email address to become a member of community member of Facebook. And he couldn't keep up with the demand. He could not keep up with the demand, and more people. Then he early on got the brilliant idea. Probably from a marketing perspective, the most brilliant of ideas was that you could share a picture with your friends and family on Facebook. And as soon as he introduced that technology feature, his growth was exponential. Millions upon millions of people got involved. You know what I just read about Mark, the Zuck, that earlier this week he was in Russia. The Soviet, I guess they don't call it the Soviet Union anymore. He was in Russia trying to win over the Russian government to have Facebook become a recognized entity in Russia. We know he has his eyes on China, as China has their eyes on him. If he ever connects, if you will, with China, he will double the size of Facebook literally overnight. That in itself will be a fantastic story. But since May, the company went public in May. We all know that, and you could originally buy a share of Facebook stock in May opening day for $38. Now you can buy a share of stock, I think, for $16, $17, whatever. And Wall Street, the marketplace, has been very disappointed with Facebook because they were not meeting revenue and profit projections. And that's what being in business is all about. He could have kept it to himself and not worried about the rest of the marketplace, but he decided to go to the marketplace, and actually when he did, the opening day, he raised $16 billion for his company. And he became a billionaire several times over. But now the challenge of Facebook is to create business, cash flow, revenue, create a business model that is a profitable one. Just because he has it doesn't mean it's necessarily going to be profitable. For instance, I read a statement that he made just about 3 weeks ago. Somebody asked him if he was going to have a Facebook telephone. It would be a logical place for him to go because 1 billion people would want a Facebook telephone. Well, his response to that question was, I think I could very easily sell 20 million phones. But if I sell 20 million phones, I've only made a small dent in the phone marketplace. So why should I take the revenue and the resources? Why should I take the resources of the company to generate cash flow that just make a dent in the market? So I will never become a major player. Those were his words. So he's definitely thinking about all those things, because it's not just a matter of putting it in place and suddenly 1 billion people will buy it. But he's testing something right now, and I knew the day was going to come, and I even said it to you months ago, if you've been following me, that he was going to have to create revenue models to do different things, and that's going to come in advertising. Advertising is his biggest potential, and they're trying to figure out how that's going to work, and they're testing lots of ideas. Quite honestly, I would never buy an ad on Facebook because there's too many people. My ad would get lost in the shuffle. Not that the folks aren't there, they are there, and yes, they use the product. Are they going to find my ad in the zillions of pages of Facebook? I'm not even intrigued by trying to test that idea. What I do with Facebook myself, what our community does, what I do for the community. I have a Facebook page. If you go to facebook.com// small biz, SMBIZ, small biz, SMBIZ, or if you search Small Biz David in Facebook, I haven't done it for a long time. Either one of those two things, you will find my page. And all I'm doing on my page is sending, and I don't even take the time to do it. It's so simple. We have it set up so some things automatically are sent to my Facebook page. I don't even go into Facebook to do it. It's just sent there. And it's just using Facebook the same way that we use LinkedIn, the same that we use Twitter, to get it out there to those audience who may see whatever it is I'm trying to get across, and just one other avenue, not a major avenue, I don't spend any time whatsoever. We allow I provide the content. That's all that I do, but I'm providing content for Stickin', for YouTube, for Google, for David's Barter community. That's what I do. I provide content and information. Content marketing is the single most significant thing happening in marketing right now. People will come to your landing page because of the content that you have on that page. It's got to be relevant content. And by relevant, I mean if it needs to be changed on a daily basis or an hourly basis, that's what you've got to do. But we have made the technology process so simple to make those changes. I produce a minimum of 3 YouTubes 6 days a week. That's 18 a week. I spend a total of 90 minutes approximately producing, delivering the content to Stickam while I'm recording it at YouTube. The next thing I will do after I've entered all the information on YouTube, the description, the title, and the tag. The tag is the same thing as small business keywords. Then I tell Google Plus what I've just done, and I actually embed that video in Google Plus. So now Google is looking for me in 2 places, on YouTube and on Google Plus. That's why we're able to get the page, the search engine results that we get, because we tell Google that we're doing it. We understand the algorithm that Google is using to find that information. Then we put it on a landing page. So I create 3 YouTubes. I post on Google Plus 3 times. Actually, I post on Google Plus more than 3 times. Those are just videos that I post. I also post stories that I find that I think are very relevant to small business, to starting a business. I might not talk about them in a video, but I think the information is important enough to put out there, and so I do it. So for me to do 3 YouTubes, all the coding and descriptions that I have to do, it takes about 90 minutes a day to do it. But I am dedicated to doing it. I made the decision, right or wrong, that creating a video to share that content is way more important than a blog, a written blog. It'll take me more time to do the blog. Then somebody has to read the whole thing. If I do it in a video, I can entertain you while I'm doing it. You might come because you like my entertainment. Hopefully you're coming to Stickam, to YouTube, to David's Barter. Well, there's a bigger reason to come for David's Barter, but hopefully I'm giving you good content about my small business experiences of 40 years and what is happening to me today in small business, what I am doing today in small business to build it, to grow it, all the challenges that I have. And that's the purpose of me doing what I'm doing, and it is working very, very well. And I'm very, very pleased. And I want to thank you. It all started at Stickam.com 4 years ago when I decided to create a broadcast, live streaming, where I would share small business experiences. It was 3 years ago when I made the decision that I wanted to really give as much information about starting a business as I possibly can. And in January of 2011, when the government of this country, the Obama administration, announced the Startup America Partnership, you saw it first at Stickam.com when I broadcast on this screen. I had to figure out, it had to be this screen, not the television screen. There they are, the president and his challenger shaking hands and smiling at each other. They weren't smiling at each other when they were yelling at each other last night. Yeah. I made that announcement. Well, we watched it together. We watched the announcement together, and I said, geez, that is something that David's Barter community can do. We are going to dedicate any resource that we possibly can to help new businesses get started. That's how we were going to do our job, our goal of creating jobs. We were going to provide the marketing and the technology for new businesses to get started. So Curtis and I started to develop the technology, the platform. And then it has evolved, it has grown every day, and I tested some business ideas for myself. It generated cash flow for me. I said, geez, there's no reason why it can't generate cash flow for you. Just do what I do. But you have to have your own product, your own service. You have to use your intellectual property. Mine isn't going to work for you. Mine works for me, but it isn't necessarily going to work for you as such. So it's that simple. Back to why the Zuck is smiling. He's smiling because he has Haley Sukayama. Haley is a technology writer for the Washington Post. We quote Haley often because she's great. She writes great stories. She does great research. Her opening paragraph: would you pay to give your latest wedding photos, say, or garage sale announcement a better chance of appearing on your friend's Facebook page? That's the question the social network is testing. On Wednesday, yesterday, the company introduced a feature that allows U.S. users with fewer than 5,000 friends to promote their updates for a fee. The user's post would gain prime placement on their friends' news feeds. We told you something like that was coming. Now you have to pay if you want to get the best attention of your friends. So those folks who pay will get better placement than those folks who don't pay. It's pretty risky. If it works, it's going to work hugely. Lots of money, and the Zuck will be smiling bigger than ever. If it doesn't work, it could be a real disaster for Facebook. So we'll watch that, and we'll share whatever information we can. And that, my friends, is why the Zuck is smiling.